Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Valhalla Hour. I'm your host, Sir SoCal. With me is Matthew Liciteri. How are we?
Hello. Good to be 13-2.
Rob is not here with us today because he is traveling from Iowa up to Minnesota because this week is Border Battle Weekend.
2 weeks left. Season went by fast.
Let's talk about that. It feels like we had just started.
Honestly, I think it's winning. When you're losing, a season takes forever, but when you're winning, it's like, let's get to next week. Can't wait to see us kick another team's ass.
And this season has been an absolute a dream season, nearly.
Yes.
Kevin O'Connell set a franchise record last Sunday. The first coach in franchise history, and we've not had many head coaches in our history. 60 years, maybe 10 head coaches, you'd say?
Right. Give or take, yeah.
I mean, he is now the first head coach in franchise history to have 2 13-win seasons.
And in 3 seasons.
Yes.
It's not like it took him a decade to get it. Like, he's only been here for 3 years, and he lost Kirk halfway through the year last year. Probably wouldn't have won 13 games, but we probably would have won 10. We'd have 3 straight double-digit win seasons under KOC.
This goes to show we made the right decision.
Yes.
I want him re-signed to a lifetime contract.
Hand him a check. Say, how long do you want to stay? I mean, and honestly, same with Flores. Pay him assistant head coach money. Get him to stay here. Even if we only get a top 10 defense out of him, it's worth paying him. But we have the number 2 defense in points allowed right now.
Yes. And I had the
Sorry,
opportunity.
number 3.
I had the opportunity to visit Viking Lakes yet again for the Christmas stuff. And
nice.
I had spied somebody coming out of the team facility when we were going to the Christmas lights. It was none other than Christian Darrisaw.
Oh, nice. How's he looking?
He was in a walking boot, but he was looking good.
Okay.
He did not, he was um, still on crutches, but he looked good. Um, he was
Still in crutches.
he
Okay.
was he was fired up
Okay.
because he knows if we win the Super Bowl this year, he gets a ring.
That's fair.
So
Well, I wish we had him back, man.
he's a very good player. I'm glad he's going to be with us long term. So
Yeah.
let's talk about the obvious, the Seattle game.
Yeah. A little closer than we'd like.
What'd you call last week? What was your score prediction?
I think it was like 23-13 or something like that,
I had
if I
20
remember
for
right.
20.
Yeah. Nice.
I
Yeah,
was in the ballpark.
I did not see. I thought for sure with Gino's knee that we'd be able to get, and then Seattle's O line is not great. I thought for sure with his knee plus their O line that our D line would be able to eat a little more than they did, and they just didn't. Not until the fourth quarter did they really start to turn it on. Which great, it got us the win at the end of that game there. But yeah,
I I will admit when they scored that touchdown to go ahead, I threw my water bottle and not at the TV.
I would hope not. I actually went back and rewatched the game last night just to kind of give myself a refresher for today of just like what went wrong on the defense. And that first DK touchdown, you could say he pushed off a little bit. The touchdown to get the go ahead was just, I mean, it was well defended. Not, I suppose it wasn't super well defended. Like we had somebody there, but the dude just tiptoed right on the edge of the line. Like it was an inch away from being out of bounds and it being a fourth down. Just and then the Jackson Smith Najigma touchdown, I think it was Murphy just kind of got blocked up by DK and Gilmore in a different route, and so he just kind of lost his step with Jackson and gave up that touchdown. So
There was debate between I don't know our viewers know Luca from earlier this season, but they also don't know another one of our people who occasionally comes on. His name is Jeff. They were debating on whether that last touchdown was actually a touchdown.
yeah, I mean, per the rules, it's 2 points of contact as long as it's not the same point. So you can't have two of the same foot, but if it's a foot and a knee from the same leg, that is 2 points of contact.
The I think the reason why there was some debate about that is because the color of the shoes, the color of the pants, and the color of the end zone on our game happened to be all like this, like that Seattle dark blue,
Yeah,
and you really couldn't tell.
yeah. I mean, it is what it
So
is. At the end of the day, our defense should not have been giving up those chunks to even get him in that position. Like Geno Smith had 314 yards, three touchdowns. He did throw two interceptions, but that was the one thing I said last week that ended up being accurate. Is like with DK back, we don't have the physicality of our corners to be able to cover someone like DK. And he didn't have a huge game. I think he only had like 50 something yards, but he was a big decoy. He had that big first touchdown. Like he's hard to stop, man.
I believe JJ did also cross the 1,000 mark, and I believe um, Aaron Jones is also very close, if not over.
Jones is over 1,000, and JJ has just under 1,400 now.
Um, JJ's touchdown, the twisting, turning touchdown,
Yeah,
that was sweet.
yeah, in double coverage.
The interception to seal the game, perfect.
Yeah, right. And by Theo, like stepping up for Harrison Smith, coming in, getting the game-winning pick. Dallas Turner getting an interception. Yeah, man. It was the
They,
defense showed up when they needed to.
but you cannot forget the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, Andrew Van Ginkel.
I'll be discussing him in Heroes and Zeros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, that 60-yarder that they missed.
Yeah, that was huge. Huge, huge, huge.
To be fair, that was a no man's land situation.
Yeah, 60 yards outdoors. Yeah, it's never easy. I mean, 60 yards indoors isn't easy, so
No, and especially on that fake turf that they have, um, plus the weather conditions didn't add
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah, then you see Chicago on Thursday, you only give up 6 to them. So it's like, what, Green Bay held them to 13, Chicago held them to 6. What are we doing giving up 24? What?
But we went 3-1 against the NFC West.
Yeah,
That's something to really be proud of.
yeah.
Unlike Chicago, who well,
Getting
we'll
swept by
not
the
go into
NFL.
that.
Right. Yeah.
But
And that Rams game, man. Well, the Rams are 8-2. Sorry. 8-2 since getting Cooper Kupp and Puka back. And we
mhm,
lost him on a short week. So that was a rough loss.
yeah, so that is going to our heroes and zeros.
Let's do it.
Who is your hero?
My hero, like you said, it's Van Ginkel. 2 sacks, just especially in that fourth quarter, just the amount of pressure he was generating. And when he wasn't getting sacks, he was stopping the run, getting tackles for losses. He just was an absolute impact player. Has 11 sacks on the season now. He's just an absolute stud. Like you said, NFC Defensive Player of the Week is absolutely my hero. My zero is going to go to Cam Robinson. Like I said, I went back and kind of rewatched the game last night, and the left side of the line was just getting blown up. And he's not getting a ton of help from the left guard. I get that, but a lot of the pressure that Sam was getting was coming from Robinson. He just did not have his best game.
Yeah, our defense kind of wasn't really that good this past week. Oh, we do have some breaking news coming into us as we speak. This is from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. A member of the 100 Sack Club, first team All Pro 4 times. Jared Allen is now a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of
Let's
2025.
go. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. It's about damn time.
This, I got to say, congratulations, Jared Allen. This is going to be huge.
Let's go.
And especially if we are playing in the Super Bowl and he is announced as a Hall of Famer. Good for him. Damn,
for him.
We might not be getting Jim Marshall or the Spin Doctor, but this will do.
Yeah.
This will absolutely do. Van Ginkel, I'm going to say Van Ginkel's been my hero of the season just because he's been absolutely a stud this year. He's gotten over 10 sacks. He was like, I have the number right here. So he had over, it was like 10 sacks and a crazy amount of interceptions. He's only the second player since like the 1970s to do it.
Yeah.
But
10 plus sacks, 2 plus pick sixes.
My hero of the week, you could argue for Justin Jefferson with all the touchdowns. I am going to give it to Theo Jackson. He sealed the game for us.
Yeah.
And again, that touchdown celebration.
Camp Rock.
Now, however, we did get flagged twice for celebrating because of unsportsmanlike conduct. How was that last one an unsportsmanlike? Tell me what. Tell me why.
Maybe a delay a game, but unsportsman's ridiculous.
JJ got flagged just for doing his gritty and looking at another player.
Yeah, that was crazy.
How weak do you have to be to do that?
The no fun league.
It strikes again. Maybe the refs were Packer fans.
Right.
Zero. Yeah, some of it goes on our defense just because we can't allow that. Blown coverage on Njigba, blown coverage on DK. But We won without Harrison. Yes, it was a close game,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was a win's a win. They say good teams find ways to win.
Yeah. Gilmore was a little concerning. I mean, this last week was his first week back since his injury, right? Like he missed a couple weeks or a week, and I think this last week was his first game back.
Yeah.
But he just looked kind of disinterested or disengaged. He wasn't going for the tackles. If he was going for tackles, he wasn't wrapping them up very well. He got out physical by DK and by Jackson. So I'm hoping that's not a trend for the rest of the season because he just looked kind of checked out. And he is getting up there in age. I'm sure he's burnt out and hurting at this point in the season, but we can't afford to have him do that, especially tomorrow against Green Bay with people like Reed. Like he's gonna just get totally roasted.
Okay, so yes, so Andrew Van Ginkel is now one of two players in NFL history to record at least 10 sacks and 2 pick sixes in the same season. The other being Hall of Famer Jason Taylor.
Jeez.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
What's your most defining play of the game?
I mean, it's either the Theo Jackson pick at the end or that Justin Jefferson double coverage touchdown for the go-ahead touchdown because, I mean, we got that face mask penalty, kind of set us up at the 30. Sam Darnold steps up and again another broken pocket off one foot, just kind of throws it up, and JJ, just like you said, ballerina does a 360, catches it, and waltzes right in, and luckily we were able to stop him after that. So I'd say those two are tied because that game-ending interception doesn't win us the game if we don't have that touchdown. So.
The Seattle missed 60-yarder, I think, is the defining play of the game. Had they made that, we would have gone on to overtime.
Yeah.
We don't know what would have happened there.
No, but our defense was, as much as we knock them for the game, they really did step up in that fourth quarter. They played good pressure. They got to the ball. There was about three picks that we could have had that just kind of fell out of our hands. I think Shaq Griffin had one right by the end zone that he dropped that would have changed the game. I think Gilmore almost had a pick. Like Cashman almost had a pick. So that game could have been a lot different had it not been raining, and we probably could have secured a few more of those balls of his. What's that saying that they say? Like if it was a spear, it would have killed him. Hit him right in the chest.
Yeah, and the 12s didn't affect us.
No.
And they were talking on the Vikings pre-show locally about how many false starts we're going to have. I only know maybe one false start we had. That's it.
Yeah. We had some at home when it's quiet.
Exactly.
So it definitely didn't throw us off our game.
No, I'm very surprised at how well we actually did with that sound.
Yeah. Well, they're saying 21% of the tickets sold for tomorrow's game are Packers fans. So we got to keep that noise level up. We can't be hearing no "Go Pack Go" chants at US Bank.
No, we have to shut that down quickly.
Yeah.
So there's a rule that I actually found about Minnesota United FC, which is the MLS team here.
Oh yeah.
If you are in the ultimate supporter section and you're caught wearing other fans' another team's gear, they will reseat you to another section. We need to do that in the super fan section here. We need to institute that rule.
You can only buy tickets as an opposing fan base in the upper end zone on the non-big door side.
Mm-hmm.
Marching band section, basically. You can sit up there.
Yes. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's to be expected. It's a border battle. It's a holiday week, so there's a lot of Wisconsinites in Minnesota visiting family that are like, might as well just stay for the game, et cetera, et cetera. So we just got to put the game away super early like last time, and it won't be a difference, and we just won't give up 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter like we did last time.
No, the noise is going to be a bigger factor.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears here for a little second. As you know, they lost yet another game. 6-3 to Seattle.
Good thing they fired Eberflus.
They have not won since his firing. And
They're
I've
so
pointed out to Chicago Bear fans, and I've pointed this out. He's going to be on his third head coach, just because I guarantee they're not going to retain the current guy.
in 12 calendar months, he's going to go through 3 coaches.
It's sad. And during the game, you could, even after the game, there were sell the team chants. And
Yeah.
it's pathetic. It's sad. Do the McCaskies need to sell?
Yes.
I,
I mean,
I, I have to agree. Yeah. As a Vikings fan, you're used to the Bears being really hard to play. They have gone super soft.
yeah. It's not even the fact that they've gone super soft. It's the fact they've trended in the wrong direction. They hired, Poles as their GM. Mister, we're going to take the North and never give it back. He had Justin Fields last year. They went 7-10. They get the number 1 overall pick thanks to Carolina. They draft Caleb Williams. They go out in free agency. They sign Keenan Allen. They draft a Dunze in the top 10 of the draft. They go out and sign Montez Sweat. They have all this improvement on defense and free agency, and they regress by 3 games. They're like, again, we were talking about like McCarthy's going to have a really good situation in Minnesota. Well, they were saying no rookie number 1 overall picks got into a situation like they're usually dumpster fire teams, but they went to a 7-win team that was 2 wins away from a wild card, had a good defense, loaded up at receiver, has decent running backs, and they've somehow done worse. Like the amount of ineptitude from that team over the 3-4 years that Poles has been there is insane.
But the thing about the first overall pick, I will honestly say this. I'm sorry, I'm just watching the time to make sure we hit
Yeah,
our break when we're supposed to.
yeah,
The last number 1 pick to really do well, that was a quarterback. And you also probably will know the name, Peyton Manning.
yeah. And he obviously, like, the whole narrative was his rookie season was pretty poor.
But he got really better because the team built around him. But with Poles, I just don't see it because Keenan Allen is way past his prime.
He's still decent. Like he's not a bad receiver. He's had some good plays this year.
If you can't get the coaching stability, then that's really going to, mess up a player's development big time.
Right. Which is another thing that falls on Poles. Like Quasi brought in KOC. Like they had a mutual understanding of where they wanted this team to go. And now look, again, we just talked about 2 13-win seasons in 3 years. And then he brought in Flores on defense, and our defense went from Donna Shell, who gave up the 30th most points in the NFL, to the next year, the 8th most, and now the 3rd most. A good GM can bring in good coaching.
Well, apparently, Poles and who's the Bears president? I forget his name.
I couldn't tell you.
Former Big Ten commissioner. I forget his name.
Dummy Mick doesn't know what he's doing.
So apparently, there's now according to some reports I read, they're clashing because
Yeah.
Poles doesn't like to respond to or have to answer to the Bears president.
Womp womp. It's your job.
Kevin Warren.
Okay.
They're clashing big time. And apparently, from what Poles was understood, is he only reports to the ownership and not to the president. So now there's this whole issue. And of course, as we talked about a couple of weeks ago, when Monday Night Football was here and McCaskey stared down Poles and he was just looking off like, he can't see him, I'm ignoring you type. Well, that shows me the state of the Bears franchise.
Yeah.
It needs a top-down refurbishment, and that starts with the ownership, to be fair, just because Bears fans want to win.
Yeah.
They haven't been to the Super Bowl since 2007.
Maybe we can't say much about that.
Yeah, you're coming up on 18 years without even the Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah. I can't comment on
They,
that as a Viking fan. We were going on at 50, so
well, you never know. This could be the year.
could be. Do it for Kyrie.
Then
But
if
they
something were to
fumbled back to
happen, huh?
I said they fumbled back-to-back number one overall picks. They traded
Yes.
out of it last year to get an absolute haul to help build that team. And then this year, again, they took the best quarterback coming out of college football, which I don't think he was the best. They should have taken Jaden Daniels. But back-to-back number one picks, and you can't turn it into an above 500 team.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I do think that Poles might end up being fired. I
He
just
should be.
I just do because if the top wants to set the example, I have a feeling Warren or ownership will say to Poles at the end of the season, "You're done."
Yeah.
But then with now getting a new GM and a new head coach, that sets even farther.
Yeah. They'll probably give him one more year. They'll give him the grace of the 1 year with the rookie quarterback, and they'll see what they can do next year. But if they can't win over 8 games next year, Poles absolutely deserves to be fired. Poles is who Kwesi, or people think Kwesi is. As much flack as Kwesi gets as a GM, Poles doesn't get talked about nearly enough.
Here's what Luca has to say. But then this made me laugh. Yeah.
Oh, they want
Luca, are you trying to pick him off from miles away? Damn. I probably agree. We are going to be right back. We have some messages from our sponsors.
Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before. Imagine tuning into real-time discussions, expert analyses, and fan interactions all at your fingertips. Each platform offers a unique experience, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We're not just sharing stories, we're creating a community of passionate sports enthusiasts. Join us as we dive deep into the evolution of podcasting, where every episode is a chance to engage, debate, and celebrate the world of sports. This is where your voice matters and the game never stops. Welcome to the Huddle Sports Network, where we're breaking boundaries and redefining podcasting. Broadcasting live on 6 different platforms, we're bringing you the latest in sports like never before, where sports passion meets podcasting brilliance. I'm Mike, the Bear fan, and alongside Bill, the Packer fan, and our buddy Ken Catalone, we're bringing you an incredible lineup of 38 diverse podcasters. Each one brings their unique flavor to the table, covering everything from game analysis to behind-the-scenes stories. Imagine diving deep into the minds of experts who live and breathe football, sharing insights that you won't find anywhere else.
And we're back. So, I just found this. I just did a quick search while we were on commercial break. Ryan Poles attributes slow offensive starts to training camp.
slow offensive start. It's week 16. Well, now it's week 17.
To training camp 20 weeks ago. And now calls are on to get him fired too.
I have a little bit of a personal vendetta against the Bears this season just because I had so many Bears fans smack talking us, saying like, oh, the Vikings are going to be in for a long season. Darnold sucks. Your defense is overrated. It got exposed last year. The free agents who brought it are going to be trash. Well, they're like, with Caleb, we're going to be an instant playoff team. We're going to be a 10-win team. I even made a $50 bet with a Bears fan before the season started saying that we would have a better record than they would. And I was laughed at. Dan Orlovsky came out before the season started and said if Sam Darnold plays a full season, he's going to have more yards than Caleb Williams. He got trashed. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold, I think, is tied for 5th in MVP voting, and Caleb Williams is sitting at 4 wins. And everyone's like, well, he's breaking all these rookie Bears records because your bar was like 2,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. I could have broken a Bears rookie record.
But they don't have this.
And they're not going to for a while at this rate. Like Lucas said, they absolutely need to build an O-line, but a lot of Caleb sacks are on him too. He holds that ball for way too long.
Luke, I will message you to our producers. Yeah, we should be thanking the Bears for not getting for scooping up polls because we'd be in this situation. Hell, I'd be drinking right now.
Well, wasn't the whole thing like, well, Poles wanted to tear it all down and start over from year one, and the Wills kind of wanted to see what they had with the roster at hand. And yeah, well, if you're going to tear down a roster, you have to know, like, Kwesi, yeah, his drafts aren't great, but he's been an absolute maestro in free agency. If you're
Last
going
year's
to
first round, the first round of 2024, that was the best first round we've had in a while.
Well, this year, I mean, we're all expecting McCarthy to be a good quarterback, and Dallas Turner, while he's not getting a ton of snaps because he's playing behind Van Ginkel, when he's on the field, he's looking really good. So
yeah, but I have a feeling that if Poles would have been here, we might have traded JJ.
No. No.
Oh boy! But
we definitely wouldn't have Addison.
No, we would have fumbled that pick.
Yeah.
But who knows? We might not have also had Seen.
We wouldn't have KOC. So
yeah,
I mean,
we'd be drinking.
I definitely do not want to be a Bears fan for the next 3 to 5 years.
I have a feeling it's going to take them very long to even get back into a hunt for a wild card spot.
The only thing that's going to resurrect that team in an immediate basis is hiring Ben Johnson. But like you said before the show started, if Detroit wants to, they could say, nope, you're not going there. So they're not going to bring in some college guy or some like third try retread to come into that team and all of a sudden make it a good team.
Yeah. So, looking forward, border battle. We are going to start off with the betting lines because they have changed significantly. So, last I have checked, and this is from CBS Sports, is the Vikings Packers spread is now the Vikings are a 1-point favorite.
As it should be. It should be a little higher.
Now, just because of the fact that, let me see if I can pull up my history because I had the whole.
Their injury report?
Yes. So, the Packers are going to be seriously hurt. They might not win this game just because of the fact that Quay Walker is out. Luke Musgrave was limited participation in practice.
Kraft's the better tight end.
Tyron Hopper and Javon Bullard both questionable with ankles. Jair Alexander is out with a knee. Andre Dillard out concussion. Elgin Jenkins limited participation knee. Evan Williams out quadricep. Christian Watson questionable with his knee.
What isn't he hurt?
Big players for the Packers are either out or questionable. And those that are going to be questionable who will play, they're not going to be 100%.
Yeah, Jared being out is huge. I mean, Jared's been out for a few weeks. And they haven't really super skipped a beat, but they also haven't played the best quarterbacks. Like, they shut down Geno pretty good last week, but he also only threw the ball 19 times. So, Quay Walker being out's big. I think that's going to be a good benefit for Aaron Jones because Quay Walker, he's sneaky good. Musgrave's whatever. Tucker Kraft's easily the better tight end between those two. Christian Watson, he's always hurt. They still have Reed. They still have Dobbs. They still have Wicks. Like it's going to be Josh Jacobs' hole. He's going to pound the ball on us. We have the number 2 run defense in the NFL. He only had 52 yards the first matchup, but he only ran the ball 9 times because we were up 28-0. So it's going to be Jordan Love is going to have to hand the ball off and see what he can do against our run defense. Because I trust our secondary versus that passing game. And Sam Darnold is just going to, we have to go up against Carrington Valentine. Oh, no. They have Xavier McKinney at safety, but outside of that, their secondary is not super, super impressive. So
The only person we have out is Fabian Moreau for his hip. And also, Gilmore didn't participate in practice this a couple times this week just because of rest. So,
yeah.
But everyone else is full participation, ready to go.
So I heard a stat line that I don't have it on me, but I'll just try to ballpark it. It said in games without Ivan Pace, we give up like 20-something, like 23% of explosive plays. With Ivan Pace on the field, we only give up 7%. And he's been out the last couple weeks, and our defense has been noticeably getting gashed the last couple weeks. It's like an 83 run defense grade and like an 85 pass rush grade. Like we're getting him back and healthy, we're getting Redmond back and healthy, we're getting Harrison Smith back and healthy. Like when teams are getting hurt, we're almost at damn near 100% knock on wood going into this game.
So Ivan Pace is questionable. Everyone else is unspecified, so it looks like they'll be ready to go.
And even Ivan Pace, I think he was quoted as saying, like, "Yeah, I'm going to be out there if I'm not mistaken." I mean, obviously it's up to the team. If they don't feel like he's ready, they can scrap him. But I think he's itching to get back out there. He's been a full participant almost all week.
Yeah. I just have a feeling we'll be good because if we're going to get Harrison Smith back, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
So.
And Darnold's just been lighting it up for the last 7 weeks.
So what are the keys to the victory?
So he has cleaned it up quite a bit, but Jordan Love has struggled more with interceptions this season. He kind of goes in spurts where he'll have a handful of games without one, and then he'll have a couple of games with like 2. We need to keep our streak alive of turning the ball over. We're the number 2 defense now behind Pittsburgh in takeaways. We've had 1 in every single game. So obviously doing that, because if Jacobs is going to run the ball down our throats, we need to get the ball back through the air. And then just keeping what we've been doing on offense, where I can't remember the last time we coughed up the ball on offense. Aaron Jones has been great at keeping the ball secure. Sam Darnold, I think he threw a pick, last week. But again, that was just kind of that mini punt, not against Seattle, but the week before where it was 4th down and he just kind of lobbed it up. That was whatever. But outside of that, he hasn't thrown a pick in 6 weeks. So just the turnover, I guess, cliche turnover battle. Win the turnover battle.
Yeah. One of the keys to the V, because Jair Alexander is out, that's going to really hurt their defense. We just need to just throw the ball more.
Yeah.
We also need to stop Jacobs. And then someone also says in our chat, less 3 and outs. Yes, let's not have a lot of 3 and outs. Let's keep driving the ball. If we can get into at least field goal range, we'll be golden.
Yeah. And a lot of that comes from penalties too. Like whenever it seems like we get a nice good run on 1st down to get it to 1st and short, it's called back to the holding. Oh, it's an illegal formation. Oh, it's a false start. So again, we're at home. There's no reason we should be getting false starts, and just try to play clean.
I'm going to make this commitment live on air. The next time I haven't cut this hair since the last time we lost, which was in October. The next time we lose, I will cut this hair. Or if we win the Super Bowl, one of those 2.
I was going to say, so if we win the Super Bowl, are you coming back next year with a mullet?
I don't know. I'd like to, but because I run a business, I probably wouldn't be able to.
That is fair.
Although traditions die hard.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers are legit. Over the last 6 weeks, they've had an average margin of victory of like 16 points to R9. But again, I don't want to dismiss teams because they played better against Seattle than we did, but they also played Sam Howell for half the game. When Gino went out, it was, I think, 14-3. And so Gino could have had a better second half, who knows? But other than that, they've played the absolute practice squad offense that was the Saints. They played an absolute practice squad at this point. That's the San Francisco 49ers. Like, they just were each other's biggest test that we've had outside of Detroit, arguably all season, because we're a 13-win team. The Packers have struggled to put away above 500 teams. And this is an 11-win team that's been super hot the last 6 weeks, and it's a division rival. So,
This also begs the question, if we lose this game, we pretty much lock up the number 5 seed. We can't go lower than the 6.
yeah, we can't go lower than the 6. So that's always a plus.
Do we then sit all our starters for week 18?
Yeah. I'd say kind of for a half. I don't love sitting them for a full week and getting them rusty. I still want them to just kind of take the hits and keep the rhythm going. But so I'd probably play them for a half and then sit them. Because, yeah, I mean, whether you're going on the road to Tampa or going on the road to LA, it's better than going on the road to Philly.
Yeah. Now that we have that, let's do our score prediction. And this is where we're going to get our chat involved too. So, Matthew, I will start with you, then I'll do mine, and then I would like to see what our chat says. We have 31 eyes right now, so let's hear your score prediction. So, Matthew, let's kick it off.
I'm going to have 2 this week. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to have one for my heart and one for my head. So my head prediction is going to say it's 2 high-powered offenses versus 2 good defenses that do get gashed in yards, but not a lot of points. I'm going to say it's going to be within a touchdown. I'm going to say 28-24 Vikings. My heart prediction is that we just somehow find a way to shut down Josh Jacobs. We go turnover happy. We pick Jordan Love off twice. Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson just torch that injured secondary, and we put them away like 31-17.
Okay. I'm going to say this is where it's going to get interesting. It's going to be 27-21 Minnesota. Just because of the history of these two teams, not only battling for the North, but putting on some very good football games in the past. I won't put this behind, bias. 27-21, we win. Someone named Pat Boy Yogi says 27-24. Okay. Luca, what's up, Luca? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the tailgating stuff.
Well, what was that Levi Drake Rodriguez quote that he posted saying something about like when 2 people go against each other, they either become friends or they hate each other. They don't share. He's like, well, I don't fucking plan on sharing or something like that.
It was something like that. And yes, in canon, yes, with the Packers not being healthy and the money line now shifting back towards us because we were up like 2.5, then it shifted to the Packers by 1, and it shifted back to us by 1. This is, this game, because of the fact that the Packers are not healthy, is really going to hurt them.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going to be annoying, though, is because all week Packers fans are saying the Vikings, all season Packers fans are saying the Vikings are fraudulent. They haven't played a good team outside the first 5 weeks, and we've been just slowly regressing over the last 8 weeks, and yada, yada, yada. And so now if we do go out and find a way to win tomorrow, it's, well, we didn't have Jared Alexander. Well, we didn't have Quay Walker. Well, we're not 100%. You guys got everybody back. But I'm sorry, last year, again, we lost Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson for half the season, and we were told next man up. Those are 2, one of them led the league in touchdowns. The other one's the best receiver in the NFL. And we were told to next man up it and to get better depth. So I don't want to hear that as an excuse. And if we lose, we still have a game ahead of them. Like, yeah, it'll F us for the number 1 seed, but we'll still have the better record. And at worst, we split on the season, which we've done every year since 2020.
Yeah. And I do think it's going to be a very fun game. Let's just hope I don't throw a water bottle again.
Just, again, not at your TV.
When Seattle scored that last touchdown against us, I launched a water bottle in my house.
Yeah.
My neighbors are after the game, after I had to go run in there, and they're like, "Are you okay? What the heck? What's going on in there?" I'm going, "I'm just a passionate Vikings fan."
It's just Sunday at noon.
Well, tomorrow
Yeah.
we get the game of the week.
Yeah, 3:30. I like that.
Tom Brady comes into our house. The last time he did that, he was in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah. This is his first year broadcasting, so that makes sense. I don't know if he was here with Tampa or not.
No. I think the last time I think
No, I think we played Tampa in Tampa, yeah.
Yeah. So this is
That's right.
his first time coming back since the Super Bowl when he played the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Packer game. As a lifelong Viking fan, I'm clearly nervous. I'm going to be literally shaking, but I do every week. I take the shit way too personally. But it's a team that we've beaten the last 2 years in Green Bay, and they've come here and beat us in Minnesota. Granted, last year we started Jaron Hall. The year before that was the Donna Shell year where we had a terrible defense. This is the first time, probably since 2019, that we've had a competent team on both sides of the ball. And again, Sam Darnold's playing out of his mind, 32 touchdowns, 11 picks, 1,200-plus passer rating games. So we just got to play smart, let KOC do his thing. If we do lose and it's, like I said, like a 3 or 4 point loss against a team that's, like Super Bowl contenders, like the Packers are being labeled, it's as long as we don't get absolutely destroyed and blown out, it's a close game either way, you can walk away with like, okay, we belong.
Yeah. So we've covered all of our topics. We are going to cover something else. This is going to be a one-time. So they have now announced the full finalist list for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And if you wanted to chime in to see who you vote for your Hall of Fame class. They are Eric Allen, cornerback, Jared Allen of your Minnesota Vikings,
Check.
Willie Anderson, Jairi Evans, Antonio Gates,
Check.
Torrey Holt,
Check.
Luke Kuechly,
Check.
Eli Manning,
No.
Steve Smith Sr.,
Yes.
Terrell Suggs,
Yes.
Fred Taylor,
They can't get all. This is such a strong class, man.
Adam Vinatieri,
Yes.
Reggie Wayne, Darren Woodson, and Marshall Yanda.
Gosh. There's going to be quite a few.
I'm going to put Jared Allen, Torrey Holt, Eli Manning.
Antonio Gates he's like a top 3 tight end, top 4 tight end all time. It's like Gronk, Gates, Gonzalez.
And I'm going to put Reggie Wayne on my ballot.
Yeah. I get the argument for Eli Manning. Yes, he's won 2 rings. Yes, he beat Tom Brady twice. But as I brought up before on the show, every single other year outside of those 2 seasons, he failed to win a playoff game. And those 2 seasons, they won the Super Bowl. He had not historically good, but really, really good defenses. So I don't know. I don't think he belongs. He was never the best quarterback in the NFL at any point.
And we never got the Pro Bowl like we were a lot of people who were hoping.
The Pro Bowl?
Pro Bowl.
Oh, the Pro Bowl. Yeah. It's not too late.
We kind of did with Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
Yeah. It'd be fun as a legacy league Pro Bowl style atmosphere where you get all these players that are in like their early to mid 40s to just suit him up and have a no tackle flag football style game. Bring back T.O., bring back Randy Moss, bring back Peyton Manning.
Well, Randy,
He's recovering. Give him a year.
but Antonio Gates, I think he's going to be at least 1 or 2 years out.
Yeah, he might not be first ballot, but he absolutely is a Hall of Fame tight end.
Eli Manning's going to get in first time.
Yeah. I mean, again, I might be a hater, but I don't think Andre Johnson deserved to get into the Hall of Fame at receiver. He had a good career, but he just didn't scream Hall of Fame career to me.
Reggie Wayne was one of Peyton's favorite targets.
Yeah, absolute stud. Yeah,
13 years with the Colts, championship ring. What more?
right. No, Jared Allen needs to get in this year.
Vinatieri, Patriots and the Colts. He's got
One of the best
rings.
kickers of all time. Yeah,
he's gonna get in, but I don't think it'll be this year.
it's hard for special teams to be first ballot.
Well, yeah. Like Suggs, he's got a ring with the Ravens.
Yeah, he's absolute monster.
Yeah, a lot of these people really don't have rings.
Steve Smith won't be a first ballot.
No. Yanda's got a ring. Woodson's got a ring. I believe Fred Taylor's got a ring.
Is Chuck Woodson in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Kuechly does not have a ring. I can guarantee that.
Now, do you think he's going to be a first ballot? I agree.
No.
He should be. You don't think he's going to get in first ballot?
No, he played 7 years.
Yeah, but it was 7 dominant years. Just got derailed by injury. So
Antonio Gates definitely doesn't have a ring.
Well, no. He played for the Chargers.
Jairi Evans does have a ring. Because
Okay.
he was part of the Bounty Gate team.
Well, it's not always about a ring. I mean, Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss are both first ballot receivers, and neither one of them won a ring. So
Yeah, I have a feeling now more and more are coming towards, do you have a ring conversation? Jared Allen doesn't, but he's got some pretty insane stats.
right, he was multi-time Pro Bowler, multi-time All-Pro. Damn near has a sack record.
I don't know if Eric Allen has a ring. I don't think he does.
Again, it's the only reason Eli is going to get in. It's the only reason.
Well, and because of his name.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Archie's there in 20 years. Although he's crushing it in Texas whenever he's not playing off the bench.
He might get a ring just because he's a bench warmer.
You think Texas is going to win the Natty?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they're good, but yeah, it's not going to be Texas.
Arizona State was the biggest surprise this year.
Yeah, well, in Boise.
Oh, yes.
I want Gianti, man. I want that man on this team.
And Michigan with their plummet.
Yeah. Well, thank you for McCarthy.
Yeah.
I actually did a way too early mock draft the other day because, in my opinion, it's never too early. Would you?
Yes.
It has us picking pick 30 right now, which means we're at least making it to the championship game, the NFC championship game. Would you trade out of the first round into the second round to accrue more draft picks, or do you want to just take a first rounder and roll with what we have?
That I'm really hesitant.
The package it gave me is I traded from pick 30 to pick 35, and I got 2 fourth rounders and a 7th rounder.
Oof.
So we had a 2nd rounder, a 3rd rounder, 2 fourths, 2 fifths, and a 7th.
The GM side of me says trade back. However, we do need some help on our defense, especially if Harrison retires.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like for us to get Ashton Genty from Boise State, but that's not going to happen. He won't be
He,
there
no,
by the time,
he's gonna be a top 15 pick.
unless we trade for a haul to get him. But I have a
No.
feeling we're going to extend Aaron
I'm
Jones.
well, I'm never gonna trade a haul for a running back anyway. We missed out. We'll take one in the third round.
Let's see. Well, they're saying Jaden Milroe could go to Pittsburgh, but the Pittsburgh situation, quarterback situation, is too much.
Yeah. I think they like what they have there with Wilson and Fields. They don't have to pay him a lot. They're doing enough to win. They need a receiver, they need someone opposite hot-headed Pickens.
So they're saying, according to Walter Football, I'll be wrapping this up shortly.
Yeah.
We would be picking Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle out of Ohio State.
Does it give a size?
It does not. They're saying Jerry Tillery is getting far too many snaps.
Gotcha. Well, Skull.
We'll see you next week, and go Vikings.
God willing, we're 14-2 and sweep Green Bay. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Have